This is Mark Meltzer. He's a character from the Bioshock 2 story that I feel gets overlooked at times. He was a man that found his way to Rapture through an investigation about missing girls from the coast. His adventures leading up to Bioshock 2 was told in parts through a website called There's Something in the Sea, and I plan to do my best to tell his story. This is a slightly abridged version of it all, but if you want to read more on this, then go over to the Bioshock wiki. Thanks. Mark Meltzer began his investigation when he started to notice a pattern in children being kidnapped along the coastline of Europe. Mark was currently living with his wife Amanda and daughter Cindy in New York. Determined to capture the man behind the kidnappings, he began to build a list of contacts to help him. The first person Mark met was Jeremiah Lynch, an Irish author who had taken some photos of items he found along the beach. Lynch had taken photos of a doll and some footprints, believing these were related to the kidnapper. Mark didn't believe Lynch and considered him a nut. A month later, Mark built up a collection of news reports about the kidnappings and was beginning to tie things together. The victims were all young girls with similar characteristics, and every kidnapping had happened shortly after sightings of a strange red light on the water. Mark reached out to many people as the kidnappings grew at an alarming rate. Many people suggested he seek medical help and give up. Soon after this, the kidnapping spread from the European coast to the American shoreline, growing to 3 kidnappings a week. Mark eventually found aid in a contact named Roscoe Inman, a man who worked for ONI, the Office of Naval Intelligence. Roscoe told Mark that he was no longer alone and helped as much as he could, handing Mark classified files and all of his own research on the case, helping Mark's investigation grow massively. Soon after this, Mark travelled to a beach in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada, a location he predicted the kidnapper would strike next. He waited for 3 nights before the results came in. Mark managed to take 2 photos of the kidnapper before fleeing, but he couldn't stop feeling like he'd been followed. The kidnapper was later named by Mark as the Traveller. Mark continued to follow the reports of the Traveller and figured out a pattern. He determined that the Traveller would next strike in a location near where his wife Amanda's parents lived, Montauk, Long Island, New York. He went to stay there with his family as a vacation, spending most of his time staked out waiting to get another picture. He spent 2 nights out on the beach waiting for his picture, but nothing turned up. Unfortunately, he was followed as he made his way back to the house, and on the second night, his daughter Cindy was kidnapped.